Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Gaura Bhaktivedanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Good. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtottara Shata Shishimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhacharana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. ISKCON Vividi Founder-Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Harinam Mahayagya ki jai, Harinam Seminar ki jai. Nithai Gaur Premanande. Oh, glories to Assembled Devotees. Oh, glories to Assembled Devotees. Oh, glories to Assembled Devotees. Glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jita Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanatanscha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, we are embarking on the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and understanding the fundamental truths which is of absolute nature about it. What Srila Prabhupada has imparted the knowledge of this absolute truth, that all the potencies are deriving from the holy name, and how we have to remain subservient to these holy names. Nama Tattva means the truth about the holy name has to be declared, because this is the religion of the age. It is recommended that the religion will sustain on simply glorification of the Lord through His holy names. The Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What Srila Prabhupada says about it, it has been also described in a very lucid way in Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name by Satchidananda Swami, and we have included these teachings also in this particular seminar. It is also consisting of the teachings of Haridas Thakur, which are depicted by Bhaktivedanta Thakur in the Harinam Chintamani.
This transcendental vibration by chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual souls, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by material atmosphere. In this polluted concept of life, we are all trying to exploit the resources of material nature, but actually we are becoming more and more entangled in our complexities. When one is factually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of sense, mind and intelligence, one is situated on transcendental plane. It springs automatically from the spiritual platform, and as such, anyone can take part in this transcendental sound vibration without any previous qualification and dance in ecstasy. We have seen it practically. Even a child can take part in the chanting, or even a dog can take part in it. The chanting should be heard, however, from the lips of a pure devotee of the Lord, so that immediate effect can be achieved. As far as possible, chanting from the lips of non-devotees should be avoided, as much as milk touched by the lips of a serpent causes poisonous effect. Hara is the form of adoration, the energy of the Lord. Both Krishna and Rama are form of addressing directly the Lord, and they mean the highest pleasure eternal. Hara is the supreme pleasure potency of the Lord. This potency, when addressed as Hare, helps us in reaching the supreme Lord. The material energy called as Maya is also one of the multi-potencies of the Lord, as much as we are also marginal potency of the Lord. Chanting is exactly like genuine cry by the child for mother. Mother Hara helps in achieving the grace of the Supreme Father Hare or Krishna, and the Lord reveals Himself to such sincere devotee. No other means, therefore, of spiritual realization is as effective in this age as chanting the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The holy name is transcendently blissful. It bestows all spiritual benedictions, form of the transcendental mellows that you can taste. And name is as powerful as Krishna, and it is not contaminated by material qualities. Krishna's name is always liberated and therefore has a potency to liberate us. Chanting is the most important element of devotional service. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu in his Bhakti Sandarbha 270 says, chanting is the chief means of attaining love of Godhead. It does not depend on any paraphernalia. No qualification required. High birth, wealth, material qualification. By humility and meekness, one attracts the attention of Krishna and achieves Krishna Prem, which is the complete perfection of the life. Rupa Goswami says that when the holy name is chanted, what happens? The devotee desires to have millions and millions of tongues and ears to chant and hear. This is in Vidagdha Madhav, right? Nama Prabhu dances on the mouth and in the courtyard of the heart. He conquers our activities of mind. Therefore, all other senses become inert. Shastric evidences. Brhad Purana states, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasteva nastirgatiranyatha. In this age of Kali, there is no other alternative for spiritual progress than the holy name, and the holy name of the Lord. Kali Santana Upanishad says Narad's conversation with Lord Brahma in the beginning of Kali Yuga. Narad says, how can the fallen soul be liberated in Kali Yuga? Brahma says, simply through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Men are purified in this age of Kali. Men means Manushya. Alright? Don't think that women cannot be purified. Don't put yourself in a withdrawal stage. Simply through chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, everybody is purified in this age of Kali, and the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna will appear in the front of the chanter as the brilliant beams of sun after the clouds are dispelled. Clouds of what? Maya, doubts, etc. Brhad Visnu Purana states, by chanting the holy name, a sinful person counteracts the reactions to more sins than he is able to commit. Anybody has to chant, no excuse.
Maharaj, can you elaborate a little bit on the previous point, please?
What? That one is able to counteract more sins. More sins means what?
So when we are chanting now, is that chanting?
Then whatever sins we have not only committed this life, but previous lives too. Isn't it? More sins that we think we have committed in this life, we don't have account of the previous life because we forgot. But the holy name is going to counteract those sins too.
But that chanting should be the pure.
Are Baba, chanting is giving you liberation anyway without purity. Only love of Godhead is not available without pure chanting. But nonetheless, when you are liberated, you have all the opportunities. It displays its force even when chanted unknowingly or unintentionally. In the case of Ajamil, it is displaying its force because he chanted unintentionally. There is a story of Muslim haram. One Muslim ate rotten meat and it started giving pain in the stomach, and rotten meat cannot stay. He has to pass it out very quickly. So he was building pressure and he was feeling uneasy. He wanted to run to the jungle to relieve himself. So he was in deep anxiety. But when he went, he saw one pig coming in front of him. Now pigs are haram for the Muslim, right? But the pig was so hungry that he knew his customer is here. This pig has two tusks also coming out. And Muslim said, haram, haram, get out from my way. But he wouldn't budge. Both have sense of urgency. One to empty out and another to feed on. So, as soon as Muslim sat down, the pig pushed him and poked his chest with the two tusks. So Muslim died on the spot chanting, haram! Right? Haridas Thakur said he got liberation. Why? Because there is no varna vyavadhan, no interference of alphabets in chanting that name, Ram. So unknowingly, unintentionally, even wrong intentions are there. Never mind. If you chant the holy name, you will definitely get liberation. Whether you believe in Ram or not, who the hell cares? Simply chant and liberation is guaranteed. So, these are the Shastrical evidences. Lord Shiva tells to his wife Durga, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Shri Rama Nama Varanane. The glorification of Ram's name, Ram name, not Ram's name, Ram name. He says 3 times chanting Ram names is equal to 1,000 holy names of Vishnu. People are thinking that, oh, we are discriminating Vishnu from Ram. After all, Ram came from Vishnu. Right? And they keep on fighting. But they don't understand what the word Ram means. What is the meaning of word Ram? Pleasure. Ramayati iti Rama. And the yogis also seek out the pleasure. That's why they meditate on either Lord Ramchandra, Nityanand Ram, or Parshuram, or Balaram. Right? Ramanti yoginaha satyanande chidatmani iti Rama padenasho parabrahma vidiyate. The Supreme Absolute Truth. His name is Ram because he is the source of all pleasure, reservoir of all pleasure. And Krishna is reservoir of all pleasure. So, the word Ram is embedded in Krishna. So, the etymology of the word, it has been delineated by the Shastras and the great saints. Then Kru Dhatu on Krishna's name is all supportive and Na is all pleasurable. All supportive or all attractive personality of Godhead who is the reservoir of all pleasure. That means he is Krishna. from whom everything emanates. Ramadi murtishu kala niyamena tishtannana avataram akarod bhuvaneshu kil. Krishna swayam samabhavat paramapumanayo govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajan. We have to understand, if Ram Tattva is embedded in Krishna, but Krishna Tattva is not embedded in Dasarath Putra Ram. He was the reservoir of pleasure, the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he became the cause of pain of the entire Ayodhya. For 14 years, they remained in pain of separation. So we should understand the word Ram is affiliated with Radharani, who is the Ladini potency, the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Ram Shadda is applicable to her. But through her, Krishna remain pleased. So the potency has to exhibit the actual functional way to obtain pleasure. If we take support of Radharani, then we will be able to get the pleasure. Krishna is the reservoir of pleasure, but Radharani is the potency. She starts flowing the mellows of the love, right? So we take the word Hara denotes to Radharani, and Krishna and Ram for the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, Radharani does not have anything to do with Lord Ramachandra and his pastimes. She has to turn herself into Sita Devi and obediently carrying out all the activity that her husband wants. And they were all of separation, abduction, fighting. Where is the pleasure? The pleasure has to be calculated on the terms of internal nature of this potency. So even though when Lord Ramchandra is abandoning Sita while she was pregnant, or what we say, simply by telling of a washerman, to a low-class woman, his wife, who went to somebody's house and he was chastising her, then, I'm not like Ramchandra, who can keep his wife even though she went to other men's home. I am a very, very strong follower of our dharma. So he was actually insulting Ramchandra without proper understanding. Nonetheless, Ramchandra wanted to exhibit his internal transcendental pleasure through. Okay, Sita Devi, bye-bye. Stay away, that's okay. But he was never separated from Sita. Those who have not cultivated the vision of transcendental nature by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they will not be able to understand that how come Ladini potency, if the pleasure potency is going to inflict pain. Is it ever possible? There is no pain in the spiritual reign. Vaikuntha means yasmat na kuntha iti vaikuntha. Kuntha means pain. Vaikuntha means no pain. And these are the enactments of Ladini potency. Unless and until one has evoked his Ladini potency, he will not be able to enjoy such pastimes. They are painful. So this is a great science. So while chanting Hare Krishna, everything is revealed. and we will get the right information and right understanding how to understand the transcendental pleasure of the Lord. So, sahasranama tatulyam tri avrutya tat phalam eka avrutya tu krishnasya namaikam tat prayachati. This is in Brahmanda Purana. It says 1 time chanting Krishna's holy name is equal to 3 times chanting the holy name of Ram. Means 3,000 times chanting of holy name of Vishnu. Yet people don't want to chant Hare Krishna. It is too big a burden for them. Means their intelligence is not functioning. Srila Sanatana Goswami says about this. Holy name causes the devotee to give up all conventional duties, meditation and worship even. Chanting precedes your little puja, arti. Forget it. You can't maintain that. You'll put your dubbati and it will put the ashes and you will hate. I have to clean up every day. And you want to engage your kids, do you think they are going to clean up the mess? Now, tell him to chant. Chanting precedes any religious function. Srila Sanatana Goswami says, somehow or other chanted once about liberation. The holy name of Krishna is the highest nectar. It is my very life and my only treasure. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Anta Leela, 4th chapter 71 verse. Taramadhye sarvashreshta nama sankirtan niraparade nama laile paya premadhan. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. So we should never show our ignorance about the efficacy of the holy name. Why there is no taste for chanting? As long as we are on the platform of Nama Parada or Nama Bhas, our chanting will not be always tasteful. It's like eating kheer with the sand in it. You like the taste, it is sweet, but you can't enjoy it. Simply continue to chant and one will certainly make an experience of Krishna's real nature. It doesn't mean that you have to give up even such faulty chanting of Namabhas. The holy name has potency to clear the Namabhas. And you will be able to chant purely. We don't have potency. The potency comes from the holy name. So don't think you will do a better job next time by getting ready to chant, professionally. As long as we are on the platform of Nama Parad or Nama Bhas, our chanting will not be always tasteful. But simply continue to chant and one will certainly make an experience of Krishna's real nature. The holy name Krishna is like sugar candy. Our tongue is afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, and we cannot taste anything sweet. By carefully chanting the sweet names every day, natural taste awakens within the tongue and the disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Jaundice means pilia or kamala. Right. But jaundice is a disease of liver. It perforates all our liver cells and leaks out the bile. So bile mixes with the blood and it is circulated throughout the body. So the blood is not going to function normally. We become weak, our eyes and skin and everything will show yellowness because of the contamination of bile, right? And the only remedy is just give him sugar candies. So he won't like the taste of the sugar candy, he will taste it bitter. Because the tongue has already turned into bitter tasting bile. Bile is very bitter. More bitter than Kerala. So when you can't enjoy the food, everything tastes bitter. Even gulab jamun will be tasting bitter. So we lost our taste. But no. In the beginning, contaminated state, bitterness is there, but it should not discourage us. Keep on taking sugar candy, which is the only medicine. And gradually it will start clearing. And gradually the taste of sugar candy will come back. Holy name Krishna is like sugar candy. Our tongue is afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, and cannot taste anything sweet. By carefully chanting the sweet names every day, naturally the taste awakens within the tongue and the disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Okay, relationship between chanting the holy name and different levels of devotional service. A first-class Vaishnava is he whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. When a pure devotee comes, everybody starts chanting Hare Krishna, Hare. They are reminded of Krishna immediately. Meaning of the holy name. It is an offense to interpret the meaning of the holy name, which is fifth offense. We must adopt explanation given by Srila Prabhupada and stick to it. You don't have to manufacture different meaning. Hare Krishna Mahamantra contains 36 syllables, 32 syllables. Hare Krishna and Rama are the three seed of the names. Meaning of Krishna. Kr means all attractive, Na means spiritual bliss. Another meaning is given. Kris means either to draw or the entire existence, and Na means termination. Therefore, Krishna means he who draws the conditioned souls, that is his all attractive nature, and he who finishes the material existence of birth and death. Do you know why people do not chant? Take the second meaning. If it is going to destroy your material existence, we become afraid. Oh, what will happen to me? I will be thrown in unknown. When you live forever, you don't have fear for death. But nonetheless, many times people, I started chanting 16 rounds and I have somebody died in my family. Oh my God, what does that relation to have? But they try to attribute this kind of excuses not to chant. Many people start chanting and they become so frightened that they want to give up chanting and go. When you wash your dirty clothes with soap, the foam that comes out is not clean, it is dirty. Seeing that dirty, you will be afraid, oh, I should stop washing. All the dirt is coming. Arre Baba, dirt has to come out and wash. Chant more and it will be washed off. But it's foolish to become afraid because of ignorance? Doesn't make any sense. So, this is the meaning of Krishna. Meaning of Rama. Rama means spiritual enjoyment. Meaning of Hare. Hare is Srimati Radharani, the most excellent of all the gopis. So, Mahamantra expresses the following prayer. Oh Hare, energy of Lord Krishna, Hare Radhe. Means, oh Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service so that I can get relief from the service of Maya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described this effect as Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Darpana means mirror, Marjana means cleansing, Chetana means the consciousness. Our consciousness is like a mirror. It reflects our ignorance or knowledgeability. From time immemorial, in association with the material modes, the dust of materialism is covering the mirror surface. So, we cannot see ourselves clearly. It doesn't mean mirror has become useless. Start chanting and that mirror will be also getting cleansed. So gradually cleansing the mirror which is started by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra will allow us to see our reflection face to face. If we cannot see ourselves, what to speak of seeing Paramatma? Unless and until our consciousness is properly purified. So let's understand this Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It says, let there be all victory for chanting of the holy name Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of blazing fire of material existence. Chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. It sprays the rays of soothing moonshine, which act like they are the rays of waxing moon. And it bestows all auspiciousness. It is the life and soul of all education. Chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives cooling effect to everyone and it enables one to taste full nectar at every stage. So this is the effect. Now there are the 7 effects of chanting are there. We start from the top left first, cleanse the mirror of the heart. Then stops the miseries of material existence, life and soul of all education. To understand about the holy name is an education itself. It's an education by itself. Life and all and soul of all education. Waxing moon that sprays the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. What is a waxing moon? Waxing and waning. The one that gradually grows. Waning means gradually decreases. Full nectar at every step. Cooling effect to everyone. expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. So once achieving the state of transcendence, we don't have to go through formalities of trivialities in the life. Mirror of the heart is purified of dust of material impressions consisting of desires to enjoy separately from Krishna and bad habits and anarthas. They are coming as dust sitting on our mirror of the heart. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam means chanting extinguishes the suffering of tremendous blazing fire of material existence. The spiritual master is receiving the benediction from ocean of mercy, just as the cloud pours water on the forest fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted people by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said that the most important instruction of the spiritual master is to chant 16 rounds daily. Chanting resembles cooling moon rays which cause the white lotus of good fortune to burst into bloom. Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. The moonshine is being distributed. The cooling effect is being distributed throughout the existence. The moonlight of the holy name reveals all auspicious things to the sincere chanter. When the moonlight is there, soothing light is there, then it reveals so many things. The chanter is freed from all past sins. From all past sins. These are the effect Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expresses by the cultivation of the process of Sankirtan that helps each and every one of us. It's not that fancy that I'm chanting and therefore you are chanting. No. We have specific benefit, that's why we keep on chanting. And that benefit puts our resolution very, very straightforward, which is beneficial to everyone. Joyfully performed tattoo man. Vidya, vadhu, jivanam. Chanting is the life and soul of all knowledge. In the heart of a devotee who chants the holy name, Bhakti Devi, the bride of the Lord, appears with her two sons, knowledge and renunciation. Bhakti Devi has two sons, Jnana and Vairagya. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitahas Janayatyasu Jnanam Vairagyam Chadahitukam. This is the fact. This is the result of chanting. People want to stay, and especially newly married couple, they want very peaceful life, so they want to confine themselves within two of them, no third. No, naturally, that is the intensity of love and with the two. They say, prema gali ati sakari tame dosam hai. The third is a disturbance. Right? But material life is not meant for remaining two. Grihasthas must become three, and it won't be disturbance. Actually, Krishna is such a supreme lover that he wants his devotee and reciprocate with himself to him in a very particular way. So he is reciprocating individually to each and every one, and his love for us does not depend upon third party. Even Guru directs us to Lord Krishna, but he doesn't come as an interference. Once the relationship is established, Guru cultivates and matures it and guides it. So, Krishna is called a very jealous lover. In Bible also, God is very jealous. Why he has to be jealous? Well, because we are jealous. He is the supreme jealous. Nobody can beat him. How long can you remain jealous from him? How much jealousy can you show? Krishna is more jealous. And
so here he says that the devotee will chant, so he is bestowed with the two sons, knowledge and renunciation. But the main purpose of chanting, is it to get the knowledge and renunciation? Or
it comes as byproduct. What are we going to do? You are stuck with them. Invite them. All right?
So is it automatically comes?
Surely. Janayatyasu jnanam cha vairagyam cha ahaitukam. It's a causeless knowledge of the absolute truth, and detachment from the world will come. Worldly matters. And that is the result of Krishna bhakti.
But the pure bhakti is devoid of...
That is, no, this is pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is not devoid of anything. Everything is culminated. But there is no separate jnana. Ahituki jnana means what? Krishna is pleased only by ahituki apratihata yayatmasus prasidati. Ahituki means causeless, not conditioned. Can we love Krishna on condition? You bet it is. You can't impose your condition. Krishna may reciprocate with you just to entice you, then he will rip you off like anything. Because you belong to him. He is so jealous, he cannot tolerate falsified, husbandry. So better respect that each and everyone, father, mother, wife, children, they are all properties of Krishna.
How do we correlate with Anyavilashata Shunyam Maharaj? How do we correlate with Anyavilashata Shunyam? There is, Rupa Goswami says, Jnana Karma.
Anya Abhilasha. This is not an Abhilasha. Jnana is Abhilasha.
Jnana Karmadi is there. So
the Jnana Karmadir Anavrutam, the expertise of the absolute knowledge is not required. It is an interference. It comes on its way. So you realize it, but don't stop it. Carry on. Leave it aside. If it is a byproduct, you have a duty to respect it. In preaching, you will need it. Right? You will have to demonstrate, means karma is also required. But you don't need a pre-qualification or preconditioning to do the bhakti. For bhakti, no qualification is required.
Maharaj, in one of the previous slides, you mentioned chanting frees from all past sins.
Yes.
So when we, as a devotee, when we start chanting, we still face a lot of miseries as we go ahead.
Do you want to chant, one sin is gone, 2 sin is gone, 3 sin is gone, or you want to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
But then how does this statement...
Because you get purified. Enjoy the result of purification. How will you get purified? Because the sin has been nullified. You are purified. Don't get hooked up and keep it clean. No, invite Krishna and let him reside. Mama mana mandire raho nishidin Krishna Murari. So, the purpose is that do not get hooked up with and impose condition on Krishna. Krishna is independent, Swarat. If he is merciful on you, do not count his mercy in different way. Just don't think, oh, Krishna has made my married life very happy. Krishna, thank you very much. You are very merciful this way. You have given nice prasadam. Krishna, you are very merciful. You have given me nice children, very merciful. These are not the mercy. Mercy means transcendental. It will liberate you. And everybody will be tasting the nectar whom are associating with you. So, there is no contradiction. Jnana karmadana vratam means they are not prerequisite qualification for bhakti. Anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhaktiruttama. So, if you utilize the knowledge and as an advocate to convince somebody, is anukulyena srivanam. All right? If you are very expert, that you are told, hey, do not create the confusion in the mind of those who are attached to the fruitive results. But by your personal example, show them how the fruitive results can be offered in service of Krishna. Demonstrate. So they will be inspired. Like that. So it is service to Krishna. Everything is subservient to Krishna. So, Bhakti Devi, the bride of Lord. Bhakti Devi means she is an embodiment of Samvit Shakti and Ladini Shakti together. Bhakti has knowledge. But knowledge doesn't have bhakti. You follow? Bhakti has knowledge embedded in it.
Say when bhakti comes, renunciation also comes with her. So it's like someone not renounced fully.
Oh my God.
How we can say he doing bhakti, or it's just only bhakti abhas or only?
No.
So there is no renunciation fully.
Renunciation comes. Renunciation means detachment. And detachment is internal. How are you going to demonstrate? How are you going to demonstrate renunciation?
Renunciation with the worldly things, with the material
No, use in Krishna's service. Don't throw it away. That is the definition we said in the morning, right? Yukta vairagyam uchyate. Not Falgu vairagya. That is Mayavadi, Falgu vairagya. They are imposters. Prabhupada said, oh no, don't give me money. I am renounced. I don't touch even Maya. Give it to my secretary. Why? Because he will manage my expenses. Right? That's my Prabhupada said, if Krishna has given me 10 hands, I will grab it and I will use it in his service. Now, who is the more renounced? Tell me. Renunciation is not a show.
You said selfless?
Huh?
So you said selfless, because there is selfless. Now
Selfless?
Prabhupada was selfless. Now he is using in Krishna service. So some people...
Yes. Selfless is not the correct word. You know? Krishna is the real self. Why should he be also less? The self sees him as a master. So, we are all individual selves. How we can negate ourselves? Is it clear?
Yes.
Anandam buddhi vardhanam. Ambudhi means ocean. Ocean of bliss is ever increasing. If you get some money, you feel happy, bliss, but is it ever increasing? No. The greed is increasing. But the bliss is not increasing. But if you chant and if Krishna is pleased, the ocean of pleasure, you will keep on diving. And ocean is very, very unfathomable and unmeasurable. And you get ever and ever freshness. As many times you dive, you will get. The whole spiritual life develops from one's chanting. Like a big tree which grows out of a seed. The chanting grows into the perfection of devotion. Chanting gives rise to auspicious ocean of transcendental life. Pratipadam purnamrutam svadanam. Amrutam, nectarian. Nectar was brought forward by Dhanavantari. On every step, chanting conveys perfect sublime nectar. It is the bud of the flower of divine love. Did you hear some noise? Blossoms and reveals Krishna's form, qualities and pastimes. When you get nectarian, the real taste, ruchi, then you have an access to Krishna's form, the divine qualities and pastimes. Chanting has cooling and refreshing effect on everyone. It reduces fever of conditioned existence, desiring to enjoy material life. This is the material life. Crash, enjoy. One who is always engaged in hearing and chanting the holy name will remember the Lord in the hour of death and will be elevated to the spiritual kingdom. Holy name is the Yuga Dharma. In this age of Kali, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Anyone who chants this certainly delivered. Kali kalera nama rupe Krishna ravatar nama haite haya sarva jagatera nistar. Chanting in different ages. In Satya Yuga, Dhruv Maharaj chanted Om Namo Gode Vasudevaya. In Treta Yuga, in the yajna conducted by Nabhi, father of Lord Rishabdev, Brahmanas recited Atha Kathanchit Tava Guna Kritanama. Also Valmiki chanted Rama. In Dwapar Yuga, Draupadi called out Krishna's name, Govinda. Right? There are three ways of chanting. Manasa, Upansha and Vachik. These are the terminology of different kinds of chanting. Manas means mental, chant in mind, but this is not recommended. We have to chant Upansha, spell out every syllable clearly and hear it. Right? Vachik is Sankirtan, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Loud chanting is 1,000 times better than silent chanting. Alright? So never be ashamed of chanting of Mahamantra loud enough. At least you can hear. The names of God should be chanted loudly, Srila Jiva Goswami in Krama Sandarbha. If one chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly, Krishna personally dances on the tongue. This is in Stavamala Vidyabhushan Bhashya of Baladev Vidyabhushan. Krishna has three main energies or Shaktis. Chit Shakti creates, or when manifested, she has Chit Vaibhava. And there are three Chit Shaktis are Sandhini, Samvit and Ladini. Achit Vaibhav means material energy. She doesn't have consciousness. But nonetheless, Krishna made her very beautiful. Look at the beauty of nature here. This is called Achid Vaibhav. Jaiva Vaibhav. The Jiva Shakti, when manifested, we are Jaiva Vaibhav. Alright? The Jivas manifested. In Bhakti, the way and the goals are the same. Krishna's holy name is the way, but it is also the goal, Krishna himself. The story of a beggar who went to the king to see gold. There is a story, it is not much important. Principal names of the Lord are like Krishna, Govinda, Gopal, Ram and Gopinath. These are the old names. They refer to Krishna in his eternal pastimes with his devotees in spiritual world, especially Golok Vrindavan, where love supersedes anything else. So chanting those names will certainly give you love of Godhead. But secondary names or Gaunya Nam is characterized as his relationship with the material world. As for example, Paramatma, Ishvara, Visnu, God, Allah. These are all in the terms of material creation. Vishwanath, all right. Or you say Janardhan. These are the names in terms of manifested material world. The Lord is the cause, so somehow his names are related to the creation, sustenance and dissolutions. So all these names are secondary names. Even Christ is the personal name, but for Christian, our Father in heaven, hallowed thy be name, and give us our daily bread. That's about it. It is for fulfilling material needs. While the principal names or mukhya naam is meant for fulfilling the spiritual need of love. Love is spiritual in nature. Lust is not. So, there are 3 stages. Namaparad, Namabhas and Shuddhanam. Which one is able to give you love of Godhead? What will Namabhas afford you? Liberation. And Namaparad? Make you stagnant, stay here. Shuddhanam. A Shuddhanam chanter observes Krishna appearing personally on his tongue. His meditation is on the personality of Godhead. When you chant, you have to think, meditate on it. All your senses, when fixed on the holy name of Lord Krishna, Krishna reveals himself. So it is the pure stage of chanting. As an effect of this chanting, he receives pure love of Godhead. What is Namabhas? This is chanting on clearing stage. Clearing means it has been contaminated. That's why holy name is in process of clearing it, clearing the contamination. When we start chanting, our contamination starts cleansing. So that is called clearing stage. Abhas means reflection. There is a deliberate endeavor to avoid offenses and to hear the holy name with full attention. Aparad mukta naam.
Maharaj, you mentioned in Nam Abhas we achieve the stage of liberation. So what does that liberation mean by? Is it Golok Vrindavan or Vaikuntha planet?
No. Liberation means free from bodily conception of life. You don't know what is liberation means? Anyhow, how can you reach all the way there? Without love of Godhead, you can't go there. But first you have to liberate. Because liberation is a stage after which the pure devotional service starts. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samat sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Para bhakti is available then. Mad bhakti labate param. By serving the spiritual master with full attention, one rises to Shuddhanam stage. Chanting with offenses, namaparad. Keep on running on a very thorny path. As long as the chanting is performed with offenses, it is absolutely impossible to attain love of God. Nothing else should be aspired than to progress to the next stage as quickly as possible. Offenses have to be given up. Offenses against the holy name. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for spreading the glories of the Lord. This is called Vaishnava Aparad. It is also called Hathi Matta Aparad, not Hathi Mata. Hathi Matta. Who is this? He is offending Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ramchandra Puri. Direct disciple of Madhavendra Puri. But he is a fault finder. He is trying to find fault with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ha ha, look at the ants are going in the room where you were taking prasadam. You must be eating so many sweets. Sannyasis are forbidden to eat sweets. Ha ha, now I know you are a sense gratifier. That was his meaning. All right. Understand this. Two kinds of quality of Vaishnavas. In 26 qualities of a Vaishnava, it's divided into two. Swarup Lakshana means the symptoms of the soul in his constitutional position. It's called Swarup Lakshana. And symptoms one can develop as a marginal energy, tatastha shakti. Jivera Swarupo Hare Krishna Nitya Das. Alright? Krishna tatastha shakti Veda Aveda Prakash. So, other marginal qualities like being merciful, tolerant, equal to all, performing penances without excessive inflicting injury to body, truthful, pure-hearted, compassionate, free from lusty intelligence, etc. Even Mayavadi sannyasis also cultivate this. Only Swarup Lakshan, they are loggerheaded with. Alright. It's an offense when there is criticism between disciples of different gurus or between the gurus or between the disciples of the same guru, devotee A and devotee B. I am great, my spiritual master is the greatest. I am great, my spiritual master is great. No, my greatness is there because my spiritual master is great. One wants to reap the results on the account of glorifying one's spiritual master. That is, so one should not criticize a Vaishnava about his caste, unintentional sin, last traces of his previous sins, sinful activities prior to surrendering to Lord Krishna. Never ask past of a sannyasi. It's an offense. Causes of Vaishnava Prad. Atsat Sangha. There are two types. Association with women to mix up with any kind of types of non-devotees. And there are four types of non-devotees. Envious sense enjoyers, Mayavadis, pretender, atheist. So avoid association. Don't preach to them even. Whoever kills or blasphemes a Vaishnava, whoever is envious of a Vaishnava or angry with him, or whoever does not offer him obeisances or not feel joy upon seeing a Vaishnava, certainly falls into a hellish condition. Uttama Vaishnava, Kanishta Vaishnava and Madhyam Vaishnava. Importance of associating with the devotees. Krishna personally appears in the heart of a pure Vaishnava together with bhakti, devotion, Ladini, his pleasure-giving potency, and Samvit, his knowledge-giving potency. By associating with such a pure Vaishnava, one also receives this bhakti. There are three objects that help us to attain bhakti. Pure devotee's remnant foods, the water which has washed his lotus feet, and the dust from his lotus feet. Kanistha Vaishnava, who is he? Faith is formal and meager. He worships the deity. He had not developed interest in serving a sadhu, means ignore the devotees and his association. A neophyte will have to receive pure devotee's blessing to advance in Krishna consciousness. Madhyam Vaishnava. He develops loving affection for Lord Krishna and friendship with Lord devotees, compassion for the innocent. He evades the company of atheists. He quickly becomes pure devotee. He alone becomes eligible to chant the pure name. Pure devotees of the highest level is called Uttama Vaishnava. He sees the Lord Krishna manifest everywhere. He also knows that everything rests in him. Lord Krishna is his life and soul. He is unconcerned with the distinction of who is a Vaishnava and who is not. He says on the equanimity platform, his life revolves around the holy name. Means he does not give up holy name anyway. Holy name is the essence of everything for him. Madhyam Vaishnava's activity, if you see, he is always engaged in serving sadhus. This stage marks the beginning of pure Vaishnavism. And it distinguishes Vaishnava from non-Vaishnava. Serving pure devotee is his necessity. So a devotee's activities should center around the association with the sadhus, service to the sadhus, chanting of the holy name, a constant attitude of compassion for all living entities. These are his activities. Remedies for sadhu ninda. He must fall at the sadhu's feet and repent bitterly, weeping. He must beg forgiveness. He should declare himself a fallen wretch in the need of Vaishnava's grace. A sadhu is very merciful. His heart will soften and he will embrace the offender, thus relieving him from all his offenses. Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to or independent of name of Vishnu. Lord Krishna's transcendental position. He is the supreme absolute truth. He is not subjected to the laws of material nature. He exists beyond the three modes of material nature. He is the Lord of the universe. He possesses his transcendental body and is pure in goodness. He is the master of Goloka. He is the essence of the source of Lord Vishnu. Scriptural quotes. Ekale Ishwar Krishna ar sabi bhratya jahara ichha nachave nritya yastu narayanam devam brahmarudradi devatam samatvena vikhyeta sappakandi bhavedruvam. This is in Padma Purana. Yaridik yatha taror mula nischanena in Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So, by estimation of the transcendental qualities, the sages has declared that Krishna possesses 64 excellencies, Vishnu is possessing 60 excellencies, and Lord Shiva possesses 55 excellencies, and Lord Brahma and human being can have maximum 50 qualities or excellencies. Maximum. That is the Jiva Tattva. Let's see the analogy. The Purusha avatars and the jivas, among which are the demigods, obtain their qualities from Krishna in the same way as an electrical bulb receives its energy from the powerhouse. Difference between Krishna's name and other names. Krishna's name is identical with Krishna himself. This fact is not applicable to demigods or other lower living entities. How can I offend, or how can second offense be rectified? By repenting sincerely, taking shelter of the holy name and never commit this offense again. Third offense is to disobey the orders of spiritual master. Spiritual master give the holy name, sampradaya vihinate mantrate nishpalamata. If one is not actually connected with a bona fide disciplic succession, whatever mantras he chants will not bring the desired result. Srila Prabhupada writes, a spiritual master always represents himself as the humblest servitor of the personality of Godhead. But the disciple must look upon him as the manifest representation of Godhead. To envy such an Acharya is to envy the personality of Godhead himself. What are the characteristics of spiritual master that will constitute an offense if you do not follow the order? He knows the science of Krishna. He can control 6 urges. Whether a Brahmana, a Shudra, a householder or a sannyasi, he is able to liberate the living entity from the cycle of birth and death. He has realized the conclusions of these scriptures and can convey them to others. He is firmly fixed in devotional service, Brahmanistha, and firmly situated in spiritual life. He induces others to give up their material life and begin with spiritual life. He is an Acharya, teaches by his own example. Do's and don'ts about spiritual master. Do not step on his shadow. One should not regard the Guru as an ordinary person. Krishna has sent him to disciple as his eternal spiritual master, and he should always be worshipped as a dear servant of the Lord. Disrespect the articles used by the spiritual master, his seat, bed, shoes, vehicle, bathwater, etc. Worship other person in his presence. Give initiation while he is still alive. Try to impress others with one's spiritual knowledge in his presence. Shut up when he is there. Don't try to speak much. Try to control him. What should one do? The spiritual master should always be worshipped before one starts to worship Krishna. He should be offered a nice seat, shoes, food, bathing, clothes, etc. Then with his permission, the deities of Sri Radha Krishna can be worshipped. Food should be first offered to the deities and then to spiritual master. Whenever and wherever one sees his spiritual master, he should offer his prostrated obeisance to him with prayers. The Guru's name must be uttered with great reverence. His orders are never to be disobeyed. Always be eager to honor his remnants. Do not say anything that is displeasing to him. Fall humbly at his feet and beg shelter from him. How and why does the third offense appear? The best is to concentrate on the lectures and the spiritual instructions and not on the spiritual master's physical appearance. A disciple should actively seek his pleasure instead of remaining neutral. Otherwise, he runs the risk of displeasing him by his complacencies and inattention.
You mentioned they first offer the food to the Lord.
Yeah.
But when you're chanting the mantra, we are first reciting the name of Guru and then Prabhupada and then...
Yes, but we convey through them. They are the authorities. They are in disciplic succession. So naturally you utter. What is the meaning of the prayer? Spiritual master is engaged in the service of the Lord. And simultaneously he is also engaging you. Vande Gurosi Charanarvind. Yuktascha bhaktanscha niyunjatopi. Niyunjan. So therefore, we have to worship him first and then. It's not only merely taking permission. Worship him. So we worship Srila Prabhupada. Now, Shastric examples of offenses committed by disciple to his guru. Indra insults Brihaspati. Ramchandra Puri offended Madhavendra Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. So, if one commits an offense, immediately he should beg forgiveness from this person. Examples. When Sudarshan Chakra was chasing Durvasa Muni, Brahma, after stealing the cows and cowherd boys, another is Daksha, became so puffed up. Indra's statement of regret is there because he offended Brihaspati. Prayers of Nagapatnis because Kaliya was trying to insult Krishna. Indra is surrendering to Krishna. Fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Look at that. Vedas are free from four human defects. Karanapatava means imperfect senses. Pramada, to be subject to illusion. Brahma means to commit errors. And Vipralipsa, the propensity to cheat oneself and others. 10 principal teachings of the Vedas. The proof of the basic of real knowledge is the Vedas. Krishna is the only supreme absolute truth. This is the cardinal principle of the Vedic teachings. He is prominent. He is omnipotent. He is the Rasamurti. Jivas are Lord, separated part and parcels. Proof of basic and real knowledge is the Vedas. Some jivas are bound in temporary material universe, attracted by illusory pleasures. Other jivas are eternally liberated. Krishna exists with all his potencies. Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva. And that is our sambandha. And it has to be evoked while initiation, while name-giving ceremony. Such a relation has to be invoked. The first 7 of the 9 limbs of devotional service belong to Vaidhi Bhakti, and they establish Sambandha and Jnana. The last two, Sakhyam and Atmanivedanam, are performed in Raganuga Bhakti and explained as Abhideya and Prayojana. Chanting of the holy name is the most important devotional activity. Why is it an offense against the holy name to blaspheme the Vedas? Since the Vedas consider the chanting of the holy name as the most important process, it is a great offense to criticize the Vedas, because then the holy name is criticized as well. How can the fourth offense be rectified? One should openly repent and offer obeisances to the scriptures. With great respect, one should offer flowers and tulsi leaves to Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literature. Fifth offense is to consider the glories of holy name to be imagination. Offensive thought. The scriptural presentation of the glory of the Lord holy name is not entirely true, because hyperbole has been employed to increase the reader's faith in the chanting of the holy name. This is what you call a misconceived understanding. It's an offense. The result which are promised in the Shastras are bound to appear in the life of the chanter sooner or later. They are like seeds that are fructifying in due course of time. So, fructification depends on two factors: the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our sincere endeavor to avoid offenses. How can the fifth offense be destroyed? One should go to an assembly of devotees and beg forgiveness. The devotees who are fully conversant with the glories of the holy name will mercifully forgive and embrace the offender. Sixth offense is to interpret the holy name. Chanting hypnotizes the mind, somebody thinks. Oh, when I chant, I go to sleep. I'm hypnotized. I should chant whenever I want to go to sleep. Chanting is meant for meditating on Brahman. Forget it. Almost every other institution of yoga nature, like impersonalists are also meditating, Mayavadis are also meditating, the yogis are also meditating, and their meditation does not bring about anything without chanting. They all employ chanting of the holy name as an effective way to concentrate your mind. A reporter asked Allen Ginsberg, "What is this chanting?" He said, "It's a biological thing." You know Allen Ginsberg? He was one of the first to meet Srila Prabhupada. He is the one of the kingpin of hippiedom in New York. Hippies. You know? So he's asking, what is this chanting? He said, it is biological thing. Okay? The release of oxygen by constant chanting produces ecstasy in the body. Where did he ever hear this? By his fertile poetic imagination or concoction. So, these are the concoctions. These are material explanations. Prabhupada was asked by somebody, when I chant, I see in my brain big red light. What should I do? Prabhupada said, just keep chanting, it will go away. The other guy is asking, chanting works like hypnotism. No, it is not hypnotism. It is called purification. Seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. There are different stages of sin to fructify. According to the Vedas, every sin has 3 stages. Ignorance, desire to commit a sin, and sinful act itself. Ignorance is the first one. Then desire, and third, act. There are different types of sins. Unintentional sins, sin without a purpose, an accidental fall down. Intentional sins are committing sins thinking the bad effect will be washed up by the power of the holy name. In the process of chanting, it quickly removes the anarthas in the heart and causes the weakness of the heart to disappear. Propensity to act sinfully is removed immediately and his heart shines with purity. It softens the heart, evoking compassion for all conditioned souls. It frees the chanter from lusty desires with no urge to enjoy the senses, makes him accept only what is favorable and executing devotional service and reject that is unfavorable. Convinces that Krishna is one's protector, savior and maintainer, and makes him chant constantly the holy name of the Lord in the humble state of mind. This is the effect of chanting. How the 7th offense can be rectified? If by some error this offense is committed, one must cleanse oneself in the assembly of Vaishnava. One should call out the name of one's spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada or Krishna to protect oneself from committing an offense. This offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8th offense is to consider chanting Hare Krishna to be one of the ritualistic ceremonies offered in the Vedas or fruitive activities. What is the difference between chanting the holy name and pious activities? The holy name is directly Krishna, the means and goal are identical. For ordinary pious activities, the means and goals are distinguished. They are different. He is chanting water and water. If you are thirsty, you may cry, water, water, water. You will only become more thirsty, because the utterance of the word water cannot quench your thirst. But the holy name of Krishna is not different from the person Krishna. How can the 8th offense be rectified? Approach Vaishnavas and obtain Sambandha Gyan in order to remove the ignorance. One should avoid this mistake in the future and should start chanting seriously. 9th offense is to instruct the glories of the holy name to a faithless person. This offense refers especially to giving the holy name by the Diksha initiation. This offense can also be committed by someone who openly speaks about the confidential glories of the holy name to an unqualified audience. chanting of an initiated and non-initiated devotee. What is the difference? At date of initiation, the spiritual master establishes genuine relationship between Jiva and Krishna. At that time of initiation, karma and material contamination leave the sincere disciple, and he receives strong feeling of liberation from his or her past. Even chanting in the non-initiated stages has its effects. It qualifies one for initiation. That is the effect. 10th offense. To not have complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions in this matter. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. I am the enjoyer. The world is my property. I and my. I am the doer. I am the creator of my own destiny. I have my free will. I have my independence. I am this and I am that. This is moha. I am my own protector and maintainer. This is my wealth and my wife and my sons. I can attain full perfection and all the fame through my own efforts. I can increase and expand art and science by my own intelligence. I have great knowledge. I am the Lord of all I survey. Srila Prabhupada says, the self-realized soul can clearly realize the material body which he carries around with all it needs as a burden. It's a burden. Not only his material covering, but this whole world is discerned by him like the pressure of a bundle of wood on the shoulders. You remember the story of the lady, she went on a pilgrimage with whatever her belongings were, tied up in a bundle, all right? And she was walking along the other pilgrims, but old lady gets tired, all right? So Krishna came as a disguise and says, Mother, can I help you? Says, yes, my dear boy, can you just help me to get this off my head, so I want to take a little rest. Okay. Then says, okay, then I will go now. He said, no, wait. Can you help me to put it back on my, head so I can go on the pilgrimage? Krishna has come to relieve her entire burden, but she wants the burden back. That is the foolishness. Oh my Lord, how extraordinary your devotees are. For them, the wide ocean is like a tiny puddle. The sun is like a firefly. The looming golden Mount Sumeru is like a lump of dirt. A powerful emperor like a minor servant. Priceless jewels are useless stones. Desired trees are like dry twigs. The material existence is like an insignificant burden of straw. What else to say? They regard their own body as a useless burden. This is from Bhaktivedanta Thakur in his Manas Siksha. Manasa deha geha jo kichu mor arpilu tua pade nanda kishore. Difficult to wake up the one who is pretending to sleep. Wake up, sleeping soul, jiva jago. Conclusion. The 10 offenses to the chanting of the holy name can easily be given up if we serve the holy Vaishnavas and not criticize them. Worship Lord Krishna as the absolute supreme personality of Godhead. Respect the spiritual master who initiates one into the holy name. glorify the scriptures which reveal the glories of the holy name. Serve the saintly Vaishnavas and be convinced that the holy name is eternally established in pure transcendence. Accept the explanation of the holy name which is given by Srila Prabhupada in the scriptures. Root out the desire of sinful activities. Give up ritualistic fruitive activities. Reveal the glories of the holy name only to the serious devotees and chant very diligently and fully surrender into the holy name. Improve our chanting. Japa is the barometer of our spiritual life. Mind-wandering problems are there. Car under control. Car is running, but the steering should be there. So similarly, while chanting, we should steer our mind only on the lotus feet of the Lord. Understanding the mind as an enemy, friend, bandhuratmaiva manastasya. It's just like a knife can be used either in killing or saving the life. Nature of the mind, chanchalam hi mana krishnam pramati, like the monkey or a young child, they are very agile. And behavior, dhyayato vishayans punsa. Okay? A yogi should not think. Vishwamitra Muni was meditating on Menka. And he had to give up his meditation and go after her. How to control? Rishikena rishikesam sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Amarish Maharaj also taught savai manah krishna padaravindayo vanchansi harir gurunanu varnani, like this. So, these are the examples. Controlled mind. Vyavasayatmika buddhi kehe kurunandana bahu shakhayanantascha buddhayo avyavasayanam bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya pratachetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavna vidiyate. Haridas Thakur, he was controlling everything. Material attachment. One of the prominent reasons for mind wandering is the maintaining one's material attachment. Sanatana Goswami and the touchstone, you know the story, right? Another story is the wedding party which was rowing all night along, but they forgot to take out the anchor, so they were at the same place where they began. The anchor is of attachment to the sense gratification. Problems of inattention, poor clarity and drowsiness is there. To be inattentive while chanting the holy name is the root of all offenses. Distraction or inattention in chanting produces a type of illusion causing serious offenses against the holy name, and they are very difficult to overcome. This illusion leads to craving for wealth, women, position, success, and even cheating. When this distraction covers the heart, the neophyte gradually loses interest in chanting the holy name. One must take a constant effort to drive these thoughts away from the mind and diligently follow the rules of Vaishnava etiquette. Three kinds of inattention. Audasinya means indifference, lack of attraction. Even while chanting, we get attracted to many things, thus remaining indifferent to the holy name. We ignore the holy name. If one becomes inattentive while chanting, he should immediately approach the Vaishnavas who are free from material influence and chant with them. Inspired by the Vaishnava behavior, one desires to give up frailty. Jadya means laziness. Laziness means stop chanting before finishing a round in order to attend a so-called important activity, have mobile phone or WhatsApp while chanting, they should be shut up, rather WhatsApp. Right? And for the rest, vikshepa means distraction. To be absorbed in attraction for wealth, women, position, material success results in distraction. While chanting the holy name will not really be heard even because of distraction. Overcoming inattention. Remember death? Huh? Kinkula Shekhar, now I am chanting in good health, let me die thinking of Krishna. Krishna tvadiya padapankaja panjarante. Beautiful prayer. Bhishma Dev also drove all the thoughts away at the time of passing away. Bhishma Dev is passing away, remembering Krishna in his four-handed form. Remember suffering. Generally we don't cry out usually unless we are devastated. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. We do not remember even this. You have to remember this to remind ourselves of the frailty and the miseries. One should take advantage of all suffering coming from one's own life to remember and take shelter of Krishna helplessly instead of simply mourning or cursing somebody or cursing the will of providence. A man hanging on a rope in a well. Do you think he can save the other guy? The hanging man sees the crocodile, the death is lurking around, his eyeballs pop out. Through the prayerful mood, be troubled, be bothered, then you can reform chanting. Read six Shastakam prayers, Nama Nama Kari Bahudani Ja Sarva Shaktis. Read selections or sections of scriptures where holy name is glorified. Knowing the meaning of song while imbibing the appropriate mood is also one of the way.
What does be troubled and be bothered mean? What does that mean?
Okay, let the troubles come, because unless and until the trouble comes, I will not be able to understand. There was no impetus for me to even begin chanting. Kunti remembered Krishna during the time of trouble. That's why she was asking, let more troubles come. Let it be repeated. Please save me from Maya. Please save me from my raging senses. Please let me chant, Lord, engage my senses in your service. Please let me chant Hare Krishna sincerely. Please do not let me go away from your lotus feet into the jaws of Maya. A devotee should chant feeling a personal connection with his spiritual master. Always remember that you promised your spiritual master to chant Hare Krishna mantra without offenses, including the offenses of inattentive chanting. Avoid complacency. A complacent person does not feel the urgency to become Krishna conscious. What is in hurry? Right? He is also slack in services, in reading or hearing the Shastras. Right? Just he wants to remain satisfied by eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Complacency is a disease of hearing deficiency. By not hearing philosophy, one falls into illusion. One imagines injustices and difficulties in spiritual life. Many questions are imaginary. Sometimes it happens, but there is no concrete example for it. It's hypothetical, imagination. Because becomes snared into material plan making, forgets his identity as servant of Krishna. Mental activity replaces concentration of rounds, and japa is afflicted. This illness in the advanced stages lead to Vaishnava Prad, Guru Prad, and blooping. You know blooping? Okay, bye, Krishna. Chanting is not just a technique. Don't introduce chanting as cheap thing. For example, Narad Muni in his previous life, when he was the son of a maid servant, he became totally helpless but got the instruction by his good fortune from the Vaishnavas. Alright? Through the mother who was serving them, so he got at least remnants of their prasadam and some instruction that you meditate on the Lord by chanting His holy name. And that was the only solace for them. Our trying to chant nicely is satisfying to Krishna and He responds. But ultimately it is not by our hard endeavor that He does so. Ultimately only loving service pleases Him. So make our chanting as a loving service to Him. Poor clarity. Poor clarity is produced due to mumbling the sound, due to feeling sleepy. Mumbling sound. Missing one Hare regularly due to chanting too fast. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He has to chant very clearly. Inattentiveness in hearing. Haste to finish up 16 rounds and go for some other important business. Lack of interest in chanting. Everything will create a symptomatic disease in the chanting process. As far as sleeping in japa, if you get a good 6 hours of rest, you should be able to avoid it. Chanting japa in association of devotee helps. Rupa Goswami compares such reluctant chanter or the neophyte to a man with jaundice. If after chanting your rounds, you realize there was no urgency, no struggle, then that is a bad sign. Japa is especially weakened by material desires. After chanting your rounds, you realize that there was no urgency, no struggle, then it is a bad sign. Means you could finish very easily. You think chanting is done without any efforts. Now, it means inattentiveness is there. A lot can be accomplished simply by approaching japa sincerely. Keep a daily progress report. Work daily on your japa and you will see the difference. Namabhas means clearing stage. Examples for namabhas. If you are under the cloud The cloud obstructs sunshine. Nonetheless, the light is there. Right? So when the sun of the holy name is covered by clouds of ignorance and unearthas, and only some or no spiritual ecstasy come while chanting. He is not a recipient of the full sunshine. So, this unearthas, artha means value, and the prefix an means without. Thus, anartha means that which has no value. Material assets yield no benefit at all for our for the living entity. But as soon as he becomes influenced by the external energy, he unfortunately considers the different anarthas as valuable and becomes fully entangled by them. We require only minimum necessity to keep the body and soul together. But how come the necessities are increasing? There are 4 types of anarthas. One is called Hriday Daurbalyam, means defect of the heart, weakness of the heart, attachment to objects which have no relationship to Krishna, the propensity to cheat and find faults, envy and desire for recognition. These are all unwanted things situated in our heart. If we harbor them, then our purification will not be there. We will still be in namabhas stage. Aparad offenses. Offenses against the holy name, offenses against the form of the Lord, offenses against the devotees of the Lord, and offenses against other living entities like violence and envy. Asat Trishna means thirst or desires for material objects, desires for delightful sense objects, desires for sense enjoyment as available on heavenly planets, desire to obtain mystic powers, and desires to be liberated by merging into impersonal Brahman. This is Asat Trishna. The Tattva Vibrama means the absolute truth you interpret and you spoil the meaning. Illusion about spiritual knowledge, ignorance about one's own identity, the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the process of sadhana bhakti and prema bhakti, and the factors which are unfavorable for development of Krishna consciousness. This is the ignorance. This constitutes this. There are 3 types of transcendental knowledge: Sambandha Gyan, Abhideya Gyan, and Prayojan Gyan. Sambandha means essential understanding about the spiritual position of Sri Krishna and position of the material world, the spiritual position of the living being. 3. Abhideya Gyan is the rules and regulations of sadhana, 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles is Abhideya Gyan. And Prayojan Gyan means pure love of Godhead. Effects of namabhas. Faith is there. Extinction of sinful reaction will be there. Liberation from the effect of Kali Yuga will be there. Disappearance of the fear and advance of peace will be also realized. Protection from the influence of ghost and adverse planets, that will be also cleared. It's an effect of namabhas. Attaining 4 goals of life, purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, that can be also available, because our ultimate liberation is available by namabhas, so why not? All the 4 purusharthas. Bliss, spiritual bliss. He will get some ananda of the holy name. Overcoming the namabhas. As long as one is chanting namabhas, he can be even attained liberation, but prema, love of Godhead, remains unattainable. Ignorance and anarthas have to be overcome to obtain love of Godhead. Chanting the Panchatattva mantra, why do we chant? This mantra is greatly beneficial because the holy name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita-Acharya Prabhu, Sri Gadadhar Prabhu, and Sri Shivas Thakur, and all other devotees of the Lord immediately purifies the spiritually elevator and spiritually elevate the chanter. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought this mercifully, the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he is tolerant of all our offenses, so therefore he is more merciful. And we become obliged and inspired at least to keep on chanting. Chanting at all times, chanting in the morning, the time shortly before sunrise called Brahma Muhurta is the best time for chanting. Chanting at least 16 rounds, chanting loudly enough to hear oneself. Chanting should be accompanied by regulative principles and chanting in front of Tulasi. Weeding the garden of chanting means how to eradicate the anarthas, the weeds. Nishiddhachar means actions that are prohibited in the Shastra. Kutaniti, Kutinati, diplomacy, it's called Kutniti. And in Bengali it is called Kutinati. Jivahinsa, animal killing, envy others and stopping preaching. Labha, desire of material gain. Puja, striving for popularity and admiration. And pratishtha, desire to become important. These are the weeds and it should be uprooted. Becoming servant of the holy name will, the tongue by chanting, by propagating it all over the world, to remember the holy name at the time of death, we must practice to call the holy name all the time. So, what are the techniques of chanting? Japamala and the bead bag, bodily posture, place and time, proper pronunciation. These three things must be important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction on chanting, Pranadapi sunichena taroreva sahishnana amani namana dena kirtaniya sadahari. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor but is always prepared to give all respects to others, can very easily chant the holy name of the Lord. Two definitions of humility. Humility means one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. Humility is even though a person is possessing all the good qualities, he considers himself to be completely unqualified, worthless and unintelligent. As the grass in the street does not arise after being trodden by the masses, in the same way, the pure devotee considers himself to be most fallen soul, and instead of responding to the aggression of his torturers who might degrade him out of envy, he even prays for their benefit. The tree is reputed to be tolerant because even the woodcutter who wants to cut it down receives its general shadow and fruits. Similarly, a pure devotee does not argue and oppose when being misunderstood or blasphemed. He does not claim anything for himself but is always ready to give and help others. Amanina, one who does not expect personal honor. This means to have pure heart, free from all bodily designations that are rooted in ignorance, Pride is the greatest danger in the spiritual life and can cause fall down from on every stage. Manadena, one who is always prepared to give all respects to others. A pure devotee, instead of desiring to be praised, recognized himself as servant and all other devotees and offers them obeisances and services. Absorption into nectarian ocean of holy name. For deeply absorbed chanting, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur advises as follows: association with the saintly persons, especially with the spiritual master and advanced devotees, isolation from the disturbance of worldly life, and determination of steady enthusiasm. Conclusion. In order to taste how far we have already realized the qualities, we can ask ourselves the following 5 questions. You should note down. We are just running fast anyway. How eager I am to serve, and do I just want to be served? This is the question. It's a self-inquiry. How eager am I to respect others, or do I rather strive for being respected? How much do I care for others, or do I mainly care for myself? Am I glad upon seeing the advancement of others, or do I envy them? Am I fully dependent on the Guru and Krishna, or rather on my own arrangements? That is more important. Frequent questions concerning chanting. Ask for the booklet and collect it. How do we overcome anarthas and difference and distractions? Know the value of chanting. Only 2 spiritual objects in this material world, that is jiva and the holy name. Sit in quiet place and concentrate on the holy name. Chanting in the association of the devotees. Association and the examples offer devotees to help to develop the desire and the knowledge how to improve our chanting. And the migratory birds, we should learn from them. You know the migratory birds? They make a V formation. That's a slideshow by itself, but it's short, not that much. Okay? Try this, do not disturb. No distraction. Chant in association of the devotees, especially one spiritual master. Thank you very much. Glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gauranga.
Maharaj, you were mentioning, sorry, just one question. You were mentioning the name of Allah. Is there any, the Allah name is mentioned in the scriptures?
He's asking, you mentioned about the name of Allah. Is it mentioned in the Vedic scriptures?
Yes, Bhaktivedanta Purana is also telling. But the idea is that there are different denominations, but everyone recommends chanting of the holy name. Have you seen Muslims having mala in his hand? Ya illah illillah. Then rosary by the Christians. Even atheists, they chant the name of Buddha. So it is universal. I had an opportunity a year and a half back when I was under treatment in Kerala. A lot of Muslims come for getting naturopathy and yoga practice, to get rid of their problems. Right? So they saw me and they were very elated. And they will become friendly and they want to know. I said, so in the evening session, I would gather them, give them mala, japa mala, and chant your mantras. And I said, chant loud. So I have one Mustafa and two other ladies were there, and everybody chanted jewels. We said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Ya Allah, Lillah, Ya Allah, Lillah. And everything was merging into a very resonant chanting. Try it, you will like it. They appreciate also, because after all, the culture, the Vedic culture is the mother of all cultures. Negating it will make into another. Yes.
Like I said, when we advertised my wife's yoga session in the Point area, we only got 5 Muslim ladies interested to come and take classes for yoga.
But they don't know how to give up eating non-vegetarian.
Don't worry about, but they can chant. They can chant. They will not be able to go much deeper, but chanting of the holy name is written there. They may be misguided.
They chant Om before doing yoga with me. They said, we are not chanting Allah, we are chanting Om with you.
No, they will also, at least hearing the sound of Om, they may remain silent, doesn't matter. But induce them to chant publicly. We are not fanatics. The Lord has millions and thousands of names, but they may not get the love of Godhead. So the spiritual significance of chanting of the holy name should not be revealed to them unless they ask, unless they develop. The love of Godhead is not going to be developed into those who are killer of the souls, animal killers, or they are killing themselves. You know. So at that stage, in the beginning, we do not discriminate much. Let them chant. They will get purified.